And let's face it, the only reason we've made any progress whatsoever is because of people like you. Because of the 2010 election. You know, people come up to me, boy, you know, thank you for what you're doing. You're doing such a great job. I haven't done a thing. You guys did it. You did it in 2010, and unfortunately, we don't have a willing partner negotiating in good faith to solve the problem. This president has no interest whatsoever of, first of all, recognizing what made America great. Did you listen to the State of the Union address? Did you hear his little summary?
Ridiculous. The repeat?
The tail end of that, he was going through this little riff, and by the way, they had a camera running down the aisle to capture his election picture. But he goes through this little riff about what made America great. Not once did he mention the word freedom. It was all basically the socialist collective bunk. He simply doesn't understand what made this country great. And we know exactly what his agenda is. We know his strategy. It's running against a do-nothing Congress, which, by the way, is all because we have a do-nothing Senate led by Senator Harry Reid. And, of course, he's going to run against successful people. He's going to run against what really made America great. He wants to punish success. He doesn't have a clue. He doesn't have a clue. So it's up to us to inform and educate the American people. You know, when I talk in front of business groups, I certainly, when I ran my business, I would never think of imposing my political views on the people who work with me. It's kind of like religion. It's like, it's just sort of off bounds. We can't take that position anymore. We can't take that position. I attended the breakfast meeting with the Business Roundtable near Washington. And the head of Boeing stood up, he was doing the introduction, he said, listen, we're the Business Roundtable. We represent the largest corporations in America. Now, I know we're not in favor of the American public right now, but that's a conversation for another day. I was the first senator to stand up after that. I went right to that comment. And I said, we can't afford to have that be a conversation for another day. How did we ever come to the moment in this country where businesses are being demonized? Where people, in my case, the reason I got into this race was because Obama was demonizing the people that saved my daughter's life. And he hasn't stopped. He's continuing to do it. You know, we had a telephone town hall yesterday. It was Thursday. And after I field all questions, and I get hammered all the time. You know, how come you're not willing to tax those millionaires? That'll solve the problem. Well, first of all, it won't solve the problem. It'll make it worse.
Amen.
And after about a half hour of that, I had an elderly woman call me. And she said, Senator Johnson, I am so worried. I don't know what's going to happen with taxes. And she started getting emotional. She started breaking down. She said, my husband and I, we've been building our business all our lives. Everything we've put into our business is still there. And now my husband's been sick for 2 years. And I have to sell the business. That's going to be our retirement. Am I going to have to pay 30%? Is what I thought was going to be there to fund our retirement going to be gone? It couldn't have been a more perfect moment for those, whatever they were, 10,000 people that were asking me to punish success. We have to put a face on what made America great. I can't do it alone. I need business owners. I need community leaders. I need people like you that are stepping up to the plate, coming out here, understanding the peril this nation is in, understanding how precious this nation is. I mean, think about that. Think of what America represents in the span of human history, but to the world today. If America fails, What does that mean for our world? What does that mean for our children and our grandchildren? So again, I haven't depressed you much, I hope not. That's generally the first part of my message, so here's the second part of my message. It's stay involved.
Yes.
Yep.
What I like about this crowd is, first of all, I see a lot of familiar faces. But I also see a lot of people I've never met before. Next time I come here, I want to see even more people I've never met before. And that's your task. And during the campaign trail, once those commercials started running, and I'd walk through those farm breakfast lines, and people would say, "Ron, you got our vote." And I'd always thank them sincerely. And they'd say, "No, give me 100 more." I realized that's pretty obnoxious, okay? The reaction was very similar. They'd kind of be taken back by, I'd lock in their eyes. And generally, people, as long as I stared at them, you see a look of acknowledgement come over their eyes. You're right. And then a look of commitment. And that's what I need out of you folks here tonight, that commitment. Because you see what the left did here in Wisconsin. You saw in March, you saw the repugnant behavior. You saw them take over our capital. No respect.
No.
They are relentless. They have been relentless for a century. We need to be equally relentless.
Did you see what we did a couple weeks ago?
I didn't.
Oh,
Yes,
big
you
rally
did.
for Walker.
Oh, absolutely. God bless you. I'm happy to answer some questions, but I haven't even impressed that much, but I do want to leave you with a little bit of hope here. Actually, a lot of hope. Because I'm asking you to get involved, I'm asking you to get your friends, your family, your neighbors involved. So let me give you a little inspiration. Let me give you what inspired me and inspires me. Because the fact of the matter is, Obama inspired me, but even more so, those 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that stepped up the plate after 9/11, gave their lives, sacrificed their limbs, their families. That's what inspired me. And it continues to. You know, 2 weeks after I was sworn in, I had an opportunity to go to Afghanistan, and I took the opportunity. And we went down to Camp Leatherneck, the Marine base in the Helmand province, where there had been a lot of casualties. And when the commanding general was concluding his briefing to our group, he was talking about the current generation. You know, so many of us question it. He said, listen, anybody that questions the current generation, their commitment, their capability, their mettle, you come here to Camp Leatherneck, you meet my fine young Marines. I did, I was inspired. I was at Walter Reed Hospital the week before they shut it down, transferring everybody over to Bethesda. I went to the rehabilitation ward. The day I went there, there were 12 of the finest among us going through rehabilitation. Men and women with horribly broken bodies. A whole soldier is just missing a foot. By the way, you know what they call the mines that take off a foot? They call them toe ticklers. That's the level of bravado. The day I was there were 5 individuals missing 3 limbs. And when I say missing 3 limbs, there was nothing left. One of them had a beautiful wife and daughter going through the rehabilitation with them. But one of those triple amputees, as I was talking to him, he said, "Sir, when I get done here with my rehabilitation, I go up to the floor where the new guys come in, and I boost their morale." You can't believe the level of awe, the level of inspiration you walk away from an encounter like that with. And so I tell you that story so you understand what others have sacrificed and the attitude that they maintain. So your first task here is make sure that Governor Walker doesn't get reelected or doesn't get recalled.
Right.
Make sure that the Senate remains in Republican hands. So select and then send me an ally in the Senate, and let's elect a Republican president. I've yacked enough. I'm happy to answer any questions, but just, God bless you and God bless your efforts.
God bless you.
Any questions? Anybody?